Oz and Woos and Easy and Arby and Eric and Alika and all of my friends and most of you listening out there, how the hell is it that we are smarter than these coaches that make $10 million? What are we doing here? I don't know. Sometimes smells a little fishy. Week after week, Sunday after Sunday. It's like a broken record. If it's a Tuesday, high noon Hawaiian time, then it is time for me, your backseat quarterback, Brother Richie.
Hey, aloha, and welcome. Welcome, and aloha. I think I'm on YouTube too, yeah? Yes. Added a new platform to the show. See me 3 ways now. Got your YouTube live channel at NotPods. Got Instagram live. And I just figured this out, Facebook Live, which is probably my biggest platform. So welcome those of you joining me on Facebook. This is Brother Richie, the backseat quarterback, the Spirit of Sports show brought to you by NotPods. NotPods.com, coming soon, one day. Just need one of you kids, high school kids that's into computers. I need someone to run my website. I do own it. We got YouTube live, Instagram live. Thanks for joining me. Brother Richie live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean every Tuesday, high noon Hawaiian time. That is 5 o'clock in New York City on the East Coast. 4 o'clock Central, 3 Mountain. 2 o'clock on the West Coast. If you're in Tillamook, Portland, LA, Walla Walla, check it out. Put me on. Put me in the back seat. You know, when you're driving home from work, you're working around the house. Set me in the background, back seat quarterback. I'm going to tell you why. Every single week. Why, and also how the hell is it that I watch, and my friends and anybody that has any brains about football, watch what goes on and not say, what the fuck is happening here? Let's get into it. Week 11. Oh, yes, they did, Kavika. Uh-oh, I got to go plug in. Shit, I'll be right back. Forgot to plug in. I'll be right back, people. I set everything up, all ready to go, except for I forgot to plug in one of the computers. I'm like 1 minute away from instant. Here we go. All right. Yes. Herbig, one of our boys. You know, I always say from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I don't like to give up exactly where I am because I don't want to be the sellout. Even though, you know, after 30 years, the word is out. It's an amazing place. It's in the Hawaiian Islands. But if you know the Herbigs, for the Steelers, they're from my island. So there's a clue. Kavika, my Steelers defense showed up on Sunday. Hell yes, they did. With our boy Herbig kicking ass. Awesome. Thanks, Kavika. Let's get into the show. The backseat quarterback, Brother Richie, coming at you live every Tuesday, high noon Hawaiian time. First of all, I got to ask. So Bill Belichick, he's pretty good. You know, he's on a few shows, and I like his insight. Let's go Dodgers. Yes, sir, Michael. Not a whole lot of Dodger talk in the offseason. Bill Belichick, is he good? Is he great? Was it Brady? Was it a perfect mesh? Was it more Brady? Was it him and Brady? Big question. Brady left and won another Super Bowl. Does Bill have a job next year? Are they lined up to get him? Or is he kind of over the hill and kind of old school? Almost a question, can you trust him? Can you trust his judgment? Are you going to give him full control? Because you know he's going to want to be GM, head coach, in charge of the draft, I'm sure. Do you trust that guy with all that? Or you just say, you know what, Bill, you can come coach, hands off. We'll see. Speaking of coach, I love Jim Harbaugh. Even though I'm going to get into it later in the show. Yeah, Bill, possibly Dallas. I think I like Shador, tank for the first pick and go Shador and go Dion in Dallas. Bill, too. He wouldn't go to the Jets. Let's take a look. Places that might need Bill. Chicago. I don't think you go there. I don't know. You might go Chicago. Dallas, definitely a possibility. Giants, they're kind of in a shambles. Carolina, no, they got a New Orleans, possibly. Jacksonville, I don't know. You got way expensive quarterback. Vegas, Bill to Vegas. Tennessee, I don't know. No way the Jets. So it's got some possibilities. Hello, flowers. Anyway, I'm going to tell you, I love Jim Harbaugh, even though, and I said, we're going to talk about it later. They started charging and doing Charger shit that I thought the shit was done, but we'll get into that later. But I just love every time you see Jim Harbaugh, it's so great to be here. Oh my God. And Herbert's the best. I just love the energy. A guy like that, you bring him in a building and you change the whole situation, you know. Coach, quarterback, culture. The 3 C's, I call it. Quarterback with a C. That's a guy, Deion Sanders, you bring him into Dallas and it changes the whole culture. Now the question is, Jerry fired Jimmy Johnson because it was his way or the highway. And ever since he's had yes man. Would Jerry bring in a guy like Deion that's not going to cater to him, but going to do things the way he wants to do, which is probably the right way? That's a good question. So I love Jim Harbaugh. Big day in the household on Sunday. Emalani the Great, my little girl, and she was all excited. She's just learning to ride without training wheels in her mom's house. Rains all the time, so she said, can Amy come down early? So she got here around 8 o'clock, right around kickoff. Takes off on her bike halfway through the day. No training wheels. Rode all the way up the street to Van's house, and we got a bike rider now. So that just kind of like when you get your license as a kid, just opens up so many possibilities. So much kudos and much proud papa moment. You can see it on YouTube. Proud papa moment, bro, when your kid starts riding bike. We got Kavix, Colleen, Louie. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, Brother Richie. Big day in the NFL. Had quite a few big matchups. Let's get into it. You know, one thing I hate, and it doesn't have to be this way, and I talk about this all the time. Why is an illegal contact 5 yards, but automatic first down. 3rd down and 27. The play's over here, and the receiver over here, and the guy shoves him at 6 yards. Sure, illegal contact. It's 3rd and 27. It's inconsequential to the play. Why is that an automatic first down? Doesn't the defense have it tough enough? You can't hardly breathe on a quarterback. You can't touch anybody. You can't hit anybody. And yet the most ticky-tack penalty gives the other team a first down no matter the situation. We got to get that out. I remember Dean Danblino, I believe. Dino Blandina. Or one of the guys, Pereira. He said that too. He fought with the NFL when he was in charge. It doesn't have to be an automatic first down. Or spot of the foul, interference. How about 15 yards and leave it at that? College does it. They're worried about guys will just be tackling people. No. Is brutal. Nothing worse, especially when it's on your team. And it's 3rd and 32. Yeah, replay the down 10 yards. Thank you, Kavika. Next week, Kavika, just come sit next to me and we'll do the show together. I kind of need a co-host. So, Casey, thank you, Bills. But somebody beat them in the postseason, please. They're not that good. Admit it. Got to have it, Jackhammer. I just got a text. What do you think about reviewable face masks? I think I'm going to get into this later too. If you're having Big Brother, and if you have it, then you just use it. Maybe have a common sense law. Common sense rule. You know, why does it have to be, oh, you can throw a flag and pick it up, but we can't throw a flag? Why are there limitations? If you're going Big Brother, and if you already stirred the pot, and you're already neck deep in it, then let it do its job. If I was that official a couple weeks ago when Sam Darnold in the end zone and they fish hook him, and for some reason, that's when you just go, you know what? We're changing the rule right now. That's automatic first down, 15 yards, and find me, you know, kick me out, whatever. But this has got to stop. It's got to stop. Use instant replay and use it right, or get it the fuck out. And 2, when a guy's going down in super slow motion, they call a touchdown, and his knee might have hit, and here's the ball, and here's the end zone, and he's down right there, and you overturn a touchdown. It's crap. That is not the intent. Watch a shit in full speed or 1/4 speed max. It's not the intent of the NFL when they brought in instant replay is to quabble over 1 inch. It's a fucking touchdown. Get this shit right. I mean, and I realize you have to admit that it's either really super rigged or there's a small chance. Don't give me this, there's no way that it's rigged. Wake up and open your eyes. Because especially when FanDuel and DraftKings and ESPN Bet and Caesar Sportbook, when all these are in bed and sponsors of the NFL, and gambling is bigger than ever, you think multi-billion-dollar business, they're going to leave it to chance? I think not. And the best way to manipulate an NFL game is stop the game, look at it, and it can be Vegas in the air. No, he got to call him in because 80% of the money's over here. How many times? Upon further review, the call is reversed, and you can see 2 toes in, total up touchdown on the field. Call is reversed. It's crap. If you're going to use it, though, use it and use it for everything. Why does the coach have to waste a timeout when the official made a crappy call? What about this? What about the days before when, you know what, there's a bad call? Oh, well, just get on the ball and play. Now, I know that television and cameras weren't as good, and you couldn't see every angle. And, you know, if the fans can see it, they want to get it right. but 20% of the time they still don't get it right. And then other shit, they make these obscure rules. Oh, you can't do that, but you can do this. Either use it or don't. And you know they're going to use it, so just use it. If there's an obvious penalty that they didn't call, I understand they tried to do instant replay with interference, and it was a pure disaster. So you can't go that far, and I don't know where you draw the line. Common sense rule. And then that gets gray areas too. But I mean, when shit is just so obvious and the official missed it, and the reason that we brought in instant replay was to get shit right. So let's get shit right. So yes, Jack, what do you think about reviewable face mask? Goddamn better do it. That's what I think. So the Chiefs lose. They're not that good. Maybe even, maybe they said, let's not make this so obvious. So not a whole lot of hokey shit going on. But I do promise you this, and I might even put out a, what do you call when you sign petition? If we get to the playoffs and there's a bunch of weird shit and there's 5 holding calls, and then Patrick Mahomes gets a fucking INT called back over just ticky-tack shit. And if they go to the Super Bowl again and there's questionable shit going on, and I promise you this, I will not watch the Super Bowl. Who's coming with me? If it's a Swiftie thing, the KC Swifts. They won it last year. Do they really need to win it again? You got your $1 billion. You got your 100 million fans. They're already locked in. They're going to break up one day. They don't have to win the Super Bowl again. Fucking hate them, bro. So if there's fishy shit along the way and they get in the Super Bowl over questionable shit going on, I promise, I will not watch the Super Bowl. I will not watch Sports Center for days. I will not see one play of the Super Bowl. I promise. I'll put it in my squares, and if they lose the Super Bowl, I will watch the replay 100%. I'll watch it back to back. I will go hiking with Emalani on Super Bowl Sunday. If the Chiefs are in and it's the same bullshit, and this I promise, it is a bold move. Thank you. How's Taysom Hill, bro? I'm playing that guy every week. I don't get into fantasy much because nobody wants to hear about it, but one of my leagues is overall score, not just week to week. So if that guy gets 3 points, and then 40, that's like 7 weeks of the regular tight ends. So, the more I watch, the more I realize sacks are 60% on the quarterback. 70, maybe 80% is on the quarterback. Pocket presence. Stepping up when you don't need to, stepping into the rush. How do we practice pocket presence? Because there's just not enough time. Collective bargaining, they got to come back to 2-a-days. They got to come back to full pads, 8 hours of practice. It's just too soft. And now nobody plays in the preseason, so everybody's getting hurt the first 2 weeks because that is your preseason. How can we work on pocket presence? Russell Wilson, 2 or 3 times, just stepping in. There's an opening over here, and the rush is coming from here, and you go there. Holding the ball too long. Drake May, I see it. Lots of rookies. Will Levis, just statue back there. Kyler Murray will just crumple. How do we work on pocket presence? Justin Tucker, bro. Father time starting to take his toll. I saw Cowherd just today saying, I don't think kickers' age shouldn't even matter. It's not like you're blocking or tackling. You still have to have a strong leg. You don't think that the strength in your legs goes away by mid to late 30s? So Father Time is undefeated. I mean, you'll stick with him, and I hope to God that he comes through in crucial situations in the playoffs, because I do love him. Oh, another thing. I do love him. He'll be fine. But Father Time is having an effect on Justin Tucker. Baltimore is weird. Every big game, every big situation, they just lose their identity. They lose their shit. And it's the Lamar Jackson show. Tell me this. Tight game. You give up 6 field goals. You lose to Pittsburgh. Tight game on the road. Derrick Henry has 0 carries in the fourth quarter. 0 carries. The best running back in the league leads the league in touchdowns and yards. 0 carries in the fourth quarter. 13 carries for the game. Look at this shit. I'm going to talk about this shit later too. 33 passes and 20 rushes right there. I do this shit. You want analytics? This is analytics. You throw the ball 50-50, you win. You run the ball 40%, throw 60, you lose. Why can't they figure this shit out, bro? At the end of the show, I'm going to talk some. I got my analytics. Where are these crap analytics say when you score a touchdown, when you're 14 down and you score a touchdown to go down 8 and you go for 2? Since when? You kick the extra point. If you want to go for 2 to win, you do that. When you're down 14 and score, you don't go for 2, period. All of a sudden, that's the analytics. Where does this shit come from? This is analytics right here. Run the ball, throw the ball. Penalties, not as big a deal. Turnover battle, 85% of the time you lose a turnover battle, you lose. Get sacked, you lose. Turn the ball over, you lose. Pass the ball too much, you lose. This is analytics. Figure this shit out, bro. Pisses me off. Cleveland went for 2. They're down I don't even know, second quarter. They're down 11 or something. Just kick the fucking extra point. I hate kicking. I hate kickers. These little skinny fuckers that don't have to even make a block or carry the ball or catch a pass or get hit ever. And then the game comes down to them. And I hate that. I remember it was Larry David was on Rich Eisen's show and Rich said, "You're the commissioner. What's your first move? Get rid of the goalposts." I love it. You either punt or you go for it. Brah, McPherson is right. Blah. Bunch of guys. All of a sudden, kickers are kind of worse, but they're still 85.2% kicks made. 576 out of 676 kickers on the year. So we've had 676 field goals attempts and 833 touchdowns. Wouldn't you rather have 1,058 touchdowns and 0 field goal attempts? Because there is none. Give that 53rd spot on the roster to an extra linebacker. Analytics, boy. You know what analytics is? It's just an excuse for shitty coaching. Well, that's what it says to do right here. 3rd and 8 or 4th and 8 from the 44. Analytics says 62% go. Doesn't take into effect who's been injured and how you're moving the ball and how much time's on the clock and how your defense is playing and how your quarterback's playing and who's hurt, how your line's blocking. And, it doesn't take into account the actual game script. It just says, if there's 4 minutes left and you're down 7, go for it. Whatever. Where'd they even get these analytics? Nobody even talked about analytics up 2 years ago. Lots of 4th down attempts. I do like that. The Jets. Jets just end the season. Unbelievable. What a mess. And, Aaron Rodgers, you're just going to let him run the thing forever? Now you fire Joe Douglas, your GM, because something leaked? I don't know if there's ever been a general manager fired in week 11 of a season. And you fired your best coach. Then you made your defensive coordinator that's never head coach and do both. Brah. So crazy. Can you at least try to run the ball with Breece Hall? Got one of the best quarterback or best running backs in the league. Should be. They just don't even try. We can't run the ball because you don't try. There's guys that need 25 carries a game. You make the game script. You assert your game script. You assert dominance on what you want to do. You don't leave it up to what is happening with the other team. I'm going to talk about how Flus it again. And, when you're head coach and every week the other team is saying, I can't believe they did that. But the Bears, well, we've never fired a coach in the 100-year history in the middle of the season. And what do you have to show for it? 1 Super Bowl and 0 quarterbacks ever. But, we got to do the same thing because, that's our tradition is not to fire a coach, even when he fucks up every single week and we're talking about it. I love it. Great for me. Great for my show. And this is going to be my career. I'm not going to be much longer working down at the restaurant. I'm going to do this for a career. I'm going to make this work. And you're just going to give me this. It's like on a silver platter. And I love it. But I just don't understand. I just don't understand these owners, general managers, coaches, hiring these guys. And these guys that do shit that just like the whole world knows that you're being a dumbass. I'll get into Eberflus in a minute. 2 out of the last 4 weeks that he doesn't run the right play, that the other team is going, oh, what the hell? So back to Big Brother. Terrible call. Titans in the end zone. Incomplete pass. Jordan Addison. DB comes with a shoulder. Looks bad. Looks real bad. Flag, auto flag. I'm going to get into the 70s and 80s right after this. Auto flag, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, automatic first down. You look at it again. He got him on the shoulder pad, not in the helmet area. It was a decleater, but it was perfectly legal, perfectly legal. Why cannot instant replay come in and say, you know what? Nope, no flag. They can say no flag on a face mask or holding, right? I don't even know. If you're going to use it, just use it. Because that's a clean hit early in the game, and they got blown out, but you never know. If you're going to use it, you open up the bag of worms, Pandora's box, then use it. Common sense clause. I mean, for some dumbass reason, we can't throw a flag, but we can pick one up, but we're throwing this flag. Because his head got jerked around and it's automatic face mask, and it wouldn't be a fumble, and the game wouldn't be over. So we're just giving him 15 yards, and we can change the rule later. Use it or don't. Big Brother's watching you. This is 1984 in 2024. Let's get into Eberflus. I'm watching the game. I'm yelling at the screen. There's 40 seconds left. And I'm just saying, you can't count on a 47. They're at the 28. It's a 46, 47-yard, 45-yard field goal minimum. And in his mind, that's close enough and good enough, and I think we can make this. I don't know about this frame rate. Am I? Oh, well. So 30, 29, in real life, 28, 27, milling around. They have a timeout, 26, 25. I'm going, what? Are you really just – they ran a 2-yard play. It's second down. They just had a great drive. Caleb Williams just turned the corner with Thomas Brown, get rid of dumbass. Brand new, you got a good feeling in the building. You got a new offensive coordinator calling plays. No more Waldron, no more Mr. Nice Guy. It comes down to this. Played a great game. 3rd and 19, got to 4th and 4, got a first down, got in field goal range. And now we don't trust him. Well, we don't want to fumble. It's called defeatist. It's a defeatist mentality. I don't want to fumble. I'm not going to hand off. And I'm going to count on a 47-yard field goal. This guy's 76%, Cairo Santos, from over 40. He's 100% his career from 39 and in. You know what?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You tell him, soccer guy. What indeed are we doing? So 29, 28, 27, 26, they're milling around like, what are you doing? Run another play. Even if they stack the box, you break one tackle, you're gone. I don't even agree with stopping at the 1 yard line. You know what happened 3 years ago in Cleveland? You know, the guy scored a touchdown and they scored and got an onside and scored again. That is not going to happen. Even if you do, it's going to be a chip shot field goal. And if you don't gain a yard, at least you tried. Or even throw a pass. You have time for 3 passes. With 40 seconds, 35 seconds left in a timeout, you can throw the ball 3 times. You can get tackled inbounds. You can throw a slant. You can throw an out. You can throw a deep post. You can throw a screen. You can do anything. You don't let the clock run 28 seconds and call timeout and risk a 46-yard field goal for the game. It's pathetic. You don't let the team, Washington 3 weeks ago, you don't let them get a 15-yard out and say it's no big deal. Because without that 15 yards, there is no Hail Mary. You have to see this stuff. Every team, and I've been pounding on this for years, there should be a full-time assistant coach, clock management coach, and a game management coach. And they're year-round, and all they do is every single scenario that could ever come up at the end of a half or halfway through a game, any scenario whatsoever, and they know exactly. Then they have the red button, coach, this has to be a running play. Get it to the 2-minute warning, make them burn their time. I don't care if you lose 3 yards. This play must be a run. Coach, guard the sidelines right now. We can't give them an easy 13 yards with 7 seconds left. And they're just playing, they're playing their prevent. I mean, you're going to play a prevent Hail Mary defense on a Hail Mary. But when the ball's at the 35-yard line, even Randall Cunningham can't throw it 75 yards. And then to have the audacity, just don't ever do another freaking post-game press conference, Flus. To have the audacity, oh, that play was no big deal. It's the Hail Mary that we have to guard. Yes, or don't give them a free 15 yards and there is no Hail Mary. And they're doing, you know, if you don't give them that 15 yards, they're doing the Stanford band, passing the ball around. All great organizations and programs have both of those coaches, and you never hear about them. Yeah, you don't talk about this with great coaches and great organizations. It's the same old shit. It's always the Jets and the Browns and the Bears and the Cowboys. I'll get into Jerry, too. That guy's lost his mind, man. Lost his mind. Okay, Eberflus flusing again, bro. When do you just say, sorry, you got to go? I mean, when your shit is on the line and the heat on your ass is the most, that's when you fire your OC. That's when somebody's got to go. But when that heat, when your pants are on fire, isn't it time to stand up and say, we're going to do something we've never done? And I'm sorry, Matt Eberflus. You're a person. You know, and I do, and I say, fire that guy and find that guy. He sucks. Fuck you. He is a person. He has a family, and you know. But we don't take that in. You get paid a lot of fucking money. So I don't really care. I try to have a little bit of empathy, but no. You're doing a shit job. If you did that shitty of a job at Toyota, you'd be fired. If you did that shitty a job at Disney, Tesla, you won't have a job. Get guys out that need to go. And everybody, when the whole bar is screaming, fire the guy, that's when you know how dumb you are. When the whole bar sees it. Oh, man. Pittsburgh, another 6 field goals and win the game. You know, and I love what they're doing. And Mike Tomlin's one of my favorites. And what guts. Nobody saw Russell Wilson. He knew. I'll never question him again. But if you don't score touchdowns in the playoffs, this is our second game that they had 5+ field goals to win a game without a touchdown. No matter how great your defense is, you got to score touchdowns in the playoffs. So they got to figure that out. Right, Kavika? Say it ain't so. My brother Nick Kavika got some watchers, gaining a little traction, picked up a few more subscribers this week. This will be my career. You know what? I love my job. I work at a great restaurant. I make really good money, but I hate having to be somewhere at 2:30 or 4:30. I hate having to wear shoes. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask for 50 cents a month at some point. You guys are going to help me out. Brother Richie. So the Jets have been through 4 kickers in 4 games. Some guy Schrader, they forgot to. This is so Jets. I think he made a couple that were pretty good. They forgot to take him off the practice squad. So they called him up the day of the game, something, but they didn't have to take him off the practice squad till the next day type thing, and they forgot, apparently. And so the Chiefs go, well, oh, hey, we'll take him. Didn't have to kick a field goal, but just so Jets. So damn Jets. So since there are still goalposts, and I would take them away, there'd be no extra points, no field goals in a perfect world. Because that little skinny fuck should not be in charge of wins and losses. Guys risk their lives. Somebody could die. You could get paralyzed every play. You can get concussed. You can be in a coma. You can die. That's how fast and big and strong these players are. Then this skinny little fuck that doesn't have to do shit all day. The game's on him. Get it out. This ain't soccer. This ain't Australian rules. This is football. Maybe call it feetball because you run, but you don't kick. Yeah, change the name to feetball. So 4 kickers in 4 games because they didn't take the guy off the practice squad. And KC Swift's vultured him. By the way, it's the KC Swifts. It's not the Chiefs anymore. I thought about the KC refs, but I like the KC Swifts. Just break up already. I want to hear that album. Go Lions, go. Love what Dan Campbell's doing. Now they're running up the score. Well, they got the score ran up on them for 50 years. They want to score a touchdown every possession, so just let them. Heard a great nickname, New England. Pat McAfee, sure. I hope so. For us or me or you. Thick 6. When they go tackle eligible and it's a touchdown pass instead of pick 6, touchdown for the big guy, thick 6. I love that. Big man in the end zone. New England sucks for fantasy, though. That's another thing. Coaches, offensive coordinators, why is the NFL the most successful league by far? Why is it so popular? Why are the ratings so sky high? It's because of gambling. It's because of fantasy football and Vegas and DraftKings. It's not like, every team just got a billion more fans. Not like a whole bunch of ladies just signed up to be a fan. They started playing fantasy football. So when you give Hassan Haskins the ball at the 2-yard line, or some guy named Robinson you never heard of on an end around for Miami instead of Tyreek Hill, instead of J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards, when you do this shit, you kind of fuck with us. And I know you got to win, but I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill could have ran that. I'm pretty sure J.K. Dobbins can get that 1 yard. That Hassan Haskins, maybe think about us for a little bit, that pay your bills and that let you have billion-dollar contracts with CBS and NBC and ESPN. It's the fans, right? Don't the fans pay all the bills? So next time that you're giving it to fucking peon Dion that you never heard of, instead of the stud running back that's on every fantasy league, maybe just think about that. Thanks. Ravens came out of a timeout, false start. End of the fourth quarter, very first play, false start. Delay a game, false start. Illegal procedure. Illegal formation, 80-yard touchdown. I got a list of the worst coming up. There's nothing worse than an 80-yard touchdown. Illegal formation. The tackle wasn't covered up. We don't even know how to line up. You know, and people say dumb rule. No. It's not a bad rule because football is discipline. Football is follow the rules. And when your receiver lines up as a slot and the tight end is a slot and your tackle isn't eligible and you have an 85-yard touchdown bomb called back, it's the fucking worst. Yeah. Incontrovertible evidence, by the way. Denver had a catch. Guy took a step and a half, fumbled the ball. They call it whatever. I think they called it incomplete on the field, but they let him go. Upon further review, they say it's a catch and a touchdown. It's not. It's obvious. I guess they did let it go on the field, so it's hard to see. There's so many gray areas. Remember, what is a catch even? Even that sometimes is still. In the end zone, the ball barely has to break the plane. But for first down, you know, it's where the ball lands. Just a lot of gray. But I reckon that gray area is the best way to manipulate the game when you have to. So keep it gray. Keep us all guessing because heaven forbid if somebody besides KC Swifts win the Super Bowl last year. So got to keep it gray. Green Bay challenged a call. They shouldn't even wanted the touchdown. There's 3 minutes left. Jordan Love gets a first down at the 1. Looks like he might have been in. They call him at the 1. Why are you challenging that? Why are you wasting? You're wasting a challenge and maybe a timeout. And they did because the call stood. You don't even want him in the end zone. You want first and goal at the 1 and maybe run a little more clock. This just in, another field goal attempt. Oh, this just in, another penalty, another injury. Even on Tuesday. You know what? Oh, this look at me generation and how cool I am. Don't flip into the fucking end zone. Unless you have to. Like that receiver 10 years ago from Cincy. I hate that shit. James Cook. The DB for whoever. You know, wide open. There's nobody within 10 yards and you flip in the end zone. Lamar did that last year and almost got hurt. Damn near broke a rib. That should be, you know, that's 15 yards. You can celebrate as one thing. Halfway through, I got to stop at an hour now. I think I'm on a limit with YouTube. If YouTube does end, you can go to Instagram Live or my YouTube channel. This is Brother Richie, about the halfway point, 3/4 point, backseat quarterback. Just going through all this shit, how we're smarter than them. I think everybody agrees. Anybody that listens to me, tell me if I'm making any dumb or bad points. Baltimore, Jets, Packers, Browns, just so up and down. Jets are just down and down, though. So here we go. I hate the Bears. Don't try to get more yards. Let 30 seconds run off the clock. So I just go through my notes. It's all willy-nilly, you know. I look through them one time. I could probably, you know, talk about game to game, but this is how I like to do it. So follow with me. You know, it's scattered. It's all over the place, but I'm kind of a scattered all over the place type of guy. Yes, Kavik, I miss you, man. Where'd you go? Why would you do that to me? Don't leave me alone. It's dark and scary in here. I hate the Bears. Here it is. I hate that the Bears don't go for extra yards. Let 30 seconds run up, put it on a 47-yard field goal. Make or miss, it's terrible. Yep, and then it's blocked. Why? Go get another 5, 10, 20 yards. Go get a TD. It's so dumb. Get Eberflus out. He fluces it up. It's a new, like chargering. Don't flus it. Oh, God, I think they're going to flus it. It's going to be, chargering and flus it. Yes, Pittsburgh, Detroit, anybody but KC. I don't hate anybody but KC. And little bitch Mahomes, he can shoot the gun. No big deal. Darius Slayton gets $14,000 fine and a 15-yard penalty. I mean, guys go like this on a first down, but his is, then he rubs it in the face. You know, you can't find me. Can't find me. I'm little bitch Mahomes. God dang. Down 10, 3 minutes left, 4th and 14, and they throw 7 yards. I can't remember who it is. Just one of those. It's 4th and 14, and you throw it 7 yards. Fake punt last night, Monday Night Football. 4th and 10, throw it 7. Down the middle on a fake punt. How can we practice pocket presence? You just have to have live reps and live bullets and more practice. Next CBA, we got to practice more. We got to have more pads. Got to have longer off season. Got to have longer OTAs. Got to have 2-a-days. Go back to old school. It's not a catch, Denver. You can't overturn calls unless it's incontrovertible evidence. A couple weeks ago, they call a touchdown for Colts. Receiver, Downs, he catches it at the 3, right by the pylon. He gets tackled. He's on top of the DB until he rolls into the end zone, and somehow they look at it and they say he's down at the 1, and they put it at the half yard. It's an inch if anything. You know, incontrovertible evidence. That means without a shadow of doubt, period. They should have a 30-second. You can only watch it at half speed. There's no pixel by pixel. And you have 30 seconds. Instant replay. And then the screen goes black. If you can't figure it out in 30 seconds, that is not incontrovertible. But I guess that's not how you can manipulate the game. Kenneth Walker. Could he get 25 carries once, please? You gotta pass around. Almost washed up, come back, quarterback, throwing 50 times a game. It's Geno Smith. Throwing 40, 45, 50, 55. I think it was like 52. And you got one of the best running backs in the league getting 12 carries. I have that list of guys that need 18 to 20 to 25 carries. And I'm going to go down. Let's do it right now. Let's look at the teams that lost and see how many carries their stud running back had. Washington, they're hurt. Chicago, Swift. 14 rushes. Should be 20. Jacksonville, no. Tennessee, no. Vegas don't have shit. New England, Ramondre Stevenson. Okay, he had 20. Okay, and they just, close game. Good. Cleveland, Nick Chubb. 11. If he's not healthy, don't bring him back. That guy should have 25 carries. Throw the ball 46 times and ran it 20. 46 passes. No wonder you're getting your ass beat. Who else? The Jets. Breece Hall never gets more than 15. He had 16. Give it to him 25. See what happens. Get on the ball and say, set hut. How about that? I preach that. You want to save your franchise and you have a shitty line or your team sucks, get on the ball 15 times in a row and just say, set, hut. Get the offensive line as sprinter stance, and they know that the ball's coming out like that, just like the blocking sled. Instead of standing there, blue 82, hey, 316, hey, O-line. I bet your legs are plenty tired, huh? Oh, defense, you're digging in, yeah? Because they can move around, and they're ready. O-line. Every second that you're in the three-point stance, you're burning energy. You're giving the defense. It is just so frustrating. Just try that. 15 plays in a row. Just say, set, hut, on the ball. Have your receivers way spread out so the corners have to be out there. Set, hut. Never substitute so the defense can't. Within 4, 5, 6 plays, the D-line's going to be sucking wind. Your O-line's going to be fresh. Just try it. Atlanta, Bijan Robinson. How many? 12 rushes. Why does that guy not have 28 carries a game? Look at San Fran, yeah, he got 19. Okay, they barely lost. Cincinnati, okay, 22 and a loss. That's okay. Dallas, Rico Dowdle looks pretty good. I mean, 10, they say we got to get him more involved. 10 carries. Cooper rushed through the ball 55 times. 55 rushes. And your best running back gets 10. 55 passes, I mean. And you only ran the ball 18 times. It's a recipe for disaster, and you just keep doing the same shit. Unbelievable. I don't understand it, people. Who was it? You know, the new kickoff thing? Why don't you do a huge sky kick to about the 2-yard line? I don't see him getting past the 20. Dynamic kickoff. There's been a couple more returns. There's been some long ones, but if they are returning it, they're not getting to the 30, basically. And there was another team, remember the 13 seconds with Buffalo and KC, and they're up 3, Buffalo. And I was yelling at TV, squib kick. Then you waste 3-4 more seconds. Even 13 seconds is too much for Mahomes with 3 timeouts to go kick a field goal. Happened again. They didn't score, but can't remember who, but they're up 3 and they just kick it in the end zone with 14 seconds. I mean, it's the NFL now. Every second counts. You got 14 seconds and some timeouts. You can do damage. Not with 9 seconds. When they didn't squib kick that, I said, oh, God. And, of course, Mahomes goes down and kicks a field goal and win in overtime. You know, I love Jim Harbaugh. I started with that. I love this place. I love being here and his energy. But, God dang. We chargered again, 21-point lead with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. And you give up 3 straight touchdowns. You have to go to the last play of the game to win. This shit can't happen anymore. Chargering, unless maybe it's just such a thing that there's just no more fighting it. Just like Eberflus, flusing. You got to floss every day, and you know that Eberflus will flus every game. Floss every day, flus every day with the D-O-double-G, and you get Dr. Dre. A flus every day. There was one situation, 27-6, about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, since he scores a touchdown. So it's 27-13. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Incomplete, punt. You ran like 20 seconds off the clock. That's how you let a team back in. We have an identity, right? LA Chargers is play hard defense and run the ball right, hard nose. Herbert, if he has to throw, can. We don't want him throwing 40 times. But when you get the ball back and you're up 14, don't you think run the ball? Not just 3 incompletes. Then at the end of that game, they both went 3 and out, and they got minute 40 left. Chargers, again, 3 incomplete passes, punt. Since he gets the ball. You learn nothing. How about when there's a minute 20 left, we're either going to kick a field goal or go to overtime. I'm not going 3 incomplete passes. There was 2 punts in a minute 30, and then they got the ball and scored. Because you don't run the ball. Make them burn their timeouts. If it goes to overtime, oh well, you're not giving them the ball back. You're up 14 points with 6 minutes left, and they just scored. And you just go 3 and out on 3 incomplete passes. It just makes no sense at all. Give them one of these. Give them.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Just when we thought charging was over. I thought Brandon Staley and Lynn took that shit with them, and now you got a new guy. Please don't be the same old shit. That's scary. I got a list. I got a list here of the worst. The worst for fantasy football or a fan. The worst. Interception on a huge play late in the game, flag, roughing the passer. Oh. Or offside. The worst. Your guy goes 90 yards to the 1-yard line. They call it a touchdown. In slow motion, He's down at the 1 inch line, or give it to some other guy. The worst. 82-yard touchdown pass on your stack, your QB receiver stack. Flag, illegal formation. Illegal shift. Didn't cover the tackle. The worst. Haskins and Robinson and Joe Blow getting the 1-yard touchdown to the end around when it should be Tyreek Hill or J.K. Dobbins or Jonathan Taylor. The worst. Just know where your bread is buttered. We pay your bills. We play fantasy football. That's why we watch. Don't give some guy I never fucking heard of an end around when Tyreek Hill's right next to him. The worst, 76-yard touchdown, first play. Ineligible downfield. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I was talking about that play in the end zone and for Indy, and they smacked him, and they called the penalty. I watched a hockey documentary about the Red Wings. It's a great one, Unrivaled. Red Wings and Avalanche in the mid to late 90s. Unbelievable. Those guys hated each other, and it was just great documentary, great time for hockey. You watch a game now, you watch a game from the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s NFL. Every single, I swear this hockey game, every single hit I'm looking for the penalty. NFL, every single hit you're looking for the flag. That's how they played the game back then. And, I understand protect the athletes and protect the players. And, it's a multi-billion-dollar, and I get it, but I kind of miss that. And it is just every single hit in the hockey game on the replays. Yeah, I know they're going to key on the main guys, Kavika, I know, but it still sucks. And I'm sure Tyreek Hill could have ran that end around. Anyway, just go watch some 80s, 90s hockey or NFL, and you'll be looking for a flag or a penalty every single play. It's crazy. I love Justin Herbert, but does anybody change his look more often? 2, 3, 4 times a year, that's Herbert. The hair and the facial hair and the long and the cut, and only Joe Burrow maybe. If you're in shotgun and you're handing the ball off, especially in critical situations, it's idiotic. Go under center. They can be, I want my running back running toward the line of scrimmage. You're in shotgun, handing the ball off, it's idiotic. Unless it's a draw style, that type of situation, or a screen. 3rd and inches, and we're in shotgun going blue 82, 4th and inches, blue 82. You're handing it off 6 yards deep to a stationary back. Now he needs 7 yards. It's 4th and inches, and you're in shotgun. Your running back has to gain 7 yards. If you're under center, he's busting to the hole, and you hand it off a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Idiotic. How do we know this and you don't? I'm asking every NFL coach and I want one of these guys to call in. Well, here's why we did that. Well, tell me why you did this. Well, here's why we did that. Why didn't you do this? Sometimes I think these guys should be accountable. Even the officials get up and, let the reporters let the reporters just murder you with questions. I don't know. All of a sudden, kickers kind of suck. They must have been making 92% because now they're 85. Chase Brown, I kind of dig that guy. He's kind of James Conner, yeah? Chase Brown, Cincy. Getting to the end, people. Harbaugh, stick with your identity. Tough nose, hard, smash mouth, play D, run the ball. Lad McConkey looks like a 12-year-old. It's kind of like an awesome 12-year-old, but he sure looks like a 12-year-old. So here we go. Derrick Henry. This is just an example of them just going boing, boing and losing their identity. In their wins, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 7 wins, 25, 24, 24, 23 carries, 15 and 16. Their 4 losses, 13, 11, 13 carries. It's just give your stud running back the ball and you win. Keep it in your quarterback, no matter how good the quarterback, and you lose. Couple things. I love the Manning cast. I'm more into that lately. If YouTube goes off the air, you can watch the rest of the show on Instagram Live because I donated it. I'm not sure if this ends automatically. YouTube every week. And if it does go off, I will see you next week. Thank you, everyone. Gaining some traction, crawling up this mountain. Walk before you crawl, crawl before you walk, or crawl before you walk before you run before you sprint. I'm going for Usain Bolt. I'm an infant now. I see Usain Bolt. I see my future. And cut. I love the Manning cast. A couple things that Peyton always said. One, just, let the ball go out the back of the end zone. I want the ball at the 20. Nothing worse than, I see the guy in the end zone. Oh, shit, he's running it out. And there's a flag. Now we got to start at the 9. Just give me 80 yards. I know what I need. Second thing, I'd rather be down 4 points with a minute and a half left and get the ball than 3. It's your whole mindset. When you know all you need is a field goal, it changes your whole mindset, aggressiveness, everything. I'd rather be down 4 points. Back-to-back weeks with a walk-off block field goal. First time in history that anyone remembers. And one last time, out there in life, don't flus it up, people. Don't flus it up. And don't Baltimore Raven. Stick to your strengths. Why the fuck does Derrick Henry have 0 carries? Oh, by the way, he wasn't even in. You're down 2 points with a minute left, 2-point conversion. He's not in the game. At least for a decoy. And it seemed like half the guys are going right, and then you roll your right-handed quarterback, you roll him out left. So I'm just going to end it on that. Tell me what you think. I've been playing with this thing. It's kind of fun. Do little loop-de-loops and hoop-de-hoops. Okay. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. And know that you can stream this as well on my YouTube channel. You can watch all the episodes. So until next week, aloha and ahuyo. And there. Yes. End over here. And end over here. Love you guys.